Wait, the music's sick.
Yeah, it kind of slaps. Can I get this for my vacation next week and just have it
This is
playing in the
this is like
hotel
what the
room?
not copyrighted music.
Yeah, it's cap cut free.
That's Bob Does Sports. Their theme song. It's from one of those. The only reason I know that is because it's in the Dancing Fruits video for my fucking 1-year-old.
All right, we're good on YouTube land, so I'm gonna roll this pre-show, and then we'll just be quiet, and I'll hit the intro out of it.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the Basic Bogies podcast. We release new episodes every Thursday. If you like what you hear, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe on YouTube.
We can be found at Basic Bogies on all platforms. What's up, everyone? I'm Gary. Gonna be some brutally honest moments.
Did you just spill something on the brand new Acorn Hills?
This is why we can't have nice things.
Hey, I'm TJ. Obviously, I'm a big Ricky Fowler guy.
This man's at the range listening to Alanis Morissette. I think we both have a pretty decent short game for not being pro golfers.
Even people with two legs is difficult. Golf is hard.
Here with the Basic Bogey fellas. This is good. This is fun.
This is all was supposed to happen. Yep, just to end up here with us. Yep.
Everything happens for a reason. Sat here in front of you two beautiful gentlemen.
What you got on deck for me? It's always a blast coming on with the Basic Bogies.
Everybody was crowded on the green.
TJ's like, no, let's go to that tee box.
Posted up real close, and there's DJ and his brother Austin. You just showed up with my wristband, and you're walking out with burgers, chicken sandwich, fries.
Yeah, we had glizzy stuff.
We had 5 meals.
One of the scariest moments of my life. You texted me. It was hilarious. I think you were like, you know what? We could use this.
That was after I had made the offer.
Okay, all right, that checks out.
We are Basic Bogies.
Here we are. We are live. First time ever live with Basic Bogies. Special guest Bud Copeland here. It's the 153rd Open Preview Show. Welcome, boys. How we doing tonight?
I'm still mesmerized by like what just happened. That was so sick.
So
That
is
was
this the
so
153rd time we've done this, or is this the 150th?
Yeah.
This is the preview for the 153rd
It's been
Open.
a lot of previews. This is number 9 because we did one for
This
the
is
President's Cup as well.
9 times, and we got
almost double digits, baby. Yeah.
Yep. So
We're-
big week, obviously. Royal Portrush. Rainy. It's rainy there, but it's going to be an exciting one for sure. Bud's tuning in first time from the new studio up in Maine officially, right?
Which City Studios has closed. We have we've opened Bunkhouse Studios here in beautiful Kennebunk, Maine, and the house is coming along nicely. But that is where I have been. If you do follow me at This Buds For You on Instagram, that's where I've been for the last couple of weeks, moving, changing locations, putting down some roots here in Maine where my roommate is from. So I'm pumped to be back with you guys. My guy Andrew,
My roommate. Sorry.
my
Every
co-host
time.
of Divots and Pivots every Tuesday, 8 p.m. He's actually in Maine. He's taking the week off. He's with his beautiful bride to be up in Bar Harbor or Bahaba, bouncing around.
Bahaba.
So thank you so much for allowing me to scratch this itch with you. A tradition unlike any others. The preview show with the Basic Bogies, and TJ's teasing shit backstage that made me not uncomfortable but excited. He's talking about like big guests. We got live videos and shit. What's first? Gary sent the rundown, and I think if that's the kind of man he's gonna be, I want to let him take charge. You know
It was not me that sent it. It was TJ.
TJ, you sent that rundown.
You wanna get?
I
into
spent the day
first
wiping
one?
diapers today, so.
God, it's the best.
First one, we are going over to not quite Ireland just yet, but we're going to England to our good friend overseas to give us a little insight on a
2 loops, and he wanted a climax of the course in between those loops. So you will hear a lot about a couple of notable holes on this golf course. They are the 5th, which is called the White Rocks, which is a drivable par 4, which doglegs as well. So there's danger all the way along for people who are taking it on against the prevailing wind. They're trying to cut the corner and drive the green. Some people were trying this in 2019 when Shane Lowry won. Some were successful, some weren't. But the penalty for not reaching the green or cutting the corner successfully is quite severe. This is going to be a great spectacle because at the back of the green, so you really don't want to be overshooting it because basically it's at the top of a cliff and the weather forecast isn't looking great in Ireland at the minute. There might be some fun and games on that fifth hole. So that's one to look out for on your TV screens and on the broadcast. The other one is the 16th. Now that's getting great coverage. It's a par 3. It's called Calamity Corner. And it's basically a 220-yard par 3. Basically, all the way along the right-hand side of that hole is a big wasteland drop-off where if you end up in there, you're going to be close to some big numbers, and that could potentially ruin your round. The safe route is from the left-hand side. However, there is also a bunker ready to catch you if you're a bit too cautious. So it will be really great to see some of these players testing themselves out against sort of windy, rainy conditions potentially, and the pressure of the Open, and see how they come up.
So that's our buddy Nish over there from Top 110. So their whole goal is to play the top 100 courses in the UK in the next 10 years. And I think so far they've got, somewhere like 10-ish checked off. And so Portrush is number 6 on the list. They're going to be playing it here at some point. But
that's so crazy.
He knows all about the links. I mean, that's what he grew up playing there, and they're playing all these courses, Muirfield, St. Andrews.
What a guy.
You know.
What a guy.
What a guy, man. Love Nish.
But yeah, certainly some tough holes. I was watching a lot of the Live from the Open, just clips of the practice rounds the past couple days. And it's going to be certainly quite the test just with the weather. You know, not just being that different style, but the weather is going to play havoc on this.
So let me ask you this: Who won a Open recently in shit weather?
JJ Spawn.
An Open, not a U.S. Open.
Oh,
jeez
sorry.
Louise! Everybody saw that coming too, right? Everybody's picking JJ. I love that he's playing in his first Open championship. It's the cool that's that kind of cool resurgence where, I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole betting this week, but no, it was your boy Georgia Bulldog.
Yeah, it'd just be terrible if somebody picked that.
Don't do it, Kerry.
We're not to the picks yet. Stay on schedule.
No, I know.
The Open Championship 2 years ago, Brian Harmon. You remember the little lefty just kind of shaking everybody off in the crap conditions and just punching it down the fairway. I'm saying be on the lookout for a guy like him this week with the conditions when you factor that in. Mark Leishman, maybe some of these guys who are used to playing in windy, rainy condition. Definitely the Europeans. I just think that is going to be a huge difference maker for even the guys at the top. But there's something else. You said you were watching Golf Central, on and off throughout the week. I just kind of got my fill of it. I'm still schlepping down to Massachusetts to drop the intern off at daycare for the remainder of the summer, a couple days a week. And so on my way back, I was catching up, and something really jumped out to me. And these greens are going to be slow. And if you remember last week, Rory having a little bit of a hissy fit, and somebody caught him going, these greens are shit after he missed a putt. I don't care if he sits up there all chipper and glad and everything like that. If that's his headspace around the greens, I don't think the greens are going to be much different. They're slow by American standards. They're going to be running, I think they said like 10.5, which that's what's going to be at your local club there, even in Muni on a good day. And so just a little fun, just a little thought, a little food for thought there when it comes to these conditions. Slow greens, shitty weather. This is going to be one of the more classic Open championships that we've seen, since 2023, I guess. I just find it funny though that I don't know why it's such a surprise to people. Like when it rains there or conditions are shitty, people are like they're like, oh, how is this going to play into like your factoring of like shots and stuff? And it's like, you should have already expected it. Like some of these players are like, oh, I just, I hate playing in the rain and blah, 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 blah. I mean, not exactly per se, but it's just like, am I the only one that's just not surprised that obviously it's going to be shitty and it's going to be like, they're not going to roll as fast? Like I think
the big thing is, And I got a clip in a little bit more about like the course details, but just being on the shoreline too, it's getting hit hard with the wind.
Yeah.
So like being cooler, like obviously like Pebble right there, right down the shore, but you're not talking the same
Right.
temperature. So you're talking about that colder air and then getting hit. Like you're clubbing up multiple clubs, and it's more of that just like not expecting it, but not knowing what club to hit in the wind, in the rain, in the cool. Like there's so many other variables that the caddies are doing so much math this week. That's what it's really coming down to.
But you can't. You just can't. You can prepare for the weather. You can't plan for it. So
Exactly.
to your point, I mean, they can look at weather reports and know that the wind is coming out this direction and it might get a little bit wet. But until you're standing over that shot, there's so many of the other those intangibles. Where am I on the course? Where am I on the leaderboard? Maybe what time of day is it? Is this water? Is it raining? There's so many of that goes into it. I think this is going to be, if the weather does kind of deliver, which I'm hoping for. I kind of want this classic Open Championship. I think back to what Scotty said at Woodmont, where somebody said, "What's your plan when you play a course like Woodmont?" He goes, "Well, Woodmont specifically, there's no plan." So you stand on the tee, goes, the planning's irrelevant. You stand on the tee and you look at it, and then you look around, you go, what club can I get in this fairway? And you go from there. When the weather really picks up, that's what this turns into, and that's what we need out of an Open Championship. At the beginning of the season, I ranked my majors, and I always put the U.S. Open at the top because I still think that is the best test of modern golf to find a quote-unquote world champion.
Sure.
I think that you could probably, really tweak it and have just the elite of the elite, which is what we'll see with the FedEx Cup coming up here. But the Open Championship is a close second. And I think it's because the history, the location, and then the uniqueness of the play when all of the elements arrive. We've seen Open Championships go 20, 22, 23 under, whatever it was, where I think it was Henrik Stenson and Phil going back and forth. And, 20 under should never win a major. We talked about this with Valhalla. But unfortunately for the Open Championship, these courses, when the conditions are benign, they're not going to be that tough for these guys.
Right.
These guys can go out and just slap the old course around if the conditions are benign. But as you said, Gary, you have to know where you're playing. It's the Open Championship. So thank God for the weather that we're going to be getting. I do, if you're out there and you're bitching and moaning about all the weather delays, I feel you. I'm with you. Personally, Golf Channel, if you're listening in any way, shape, or form, I think that just like you did for the U.S. Open, I think they played 08 Tiger during the rain delay.
That was the view. We talked about this, right? The viewership spiked.
It spiked.
Yes, absolutely skyrocketed. So here's what
am I in another dimension? What just happened?
They need to dig up the 90, I think it was 94 or 95 Open Championship with John Daly, and he wins in a playoff over Constantino Roca. They called it the Roca Choca because this guy flubbed a chip and then sank a 70-footer or whatever, 100-footer to force a playoff. We want that, or we want Tiger doing his thing at the old course, kind of blowing it away. But give us some of that because we know we're going to get that rain delay. And if you were looking on the social medias, I think one of the cool little features of Portrush that they're not these guys, our guys aren't going to be in these things. But the little weather sheds they have built into the side of the hills.
Those are
sick.
Like
little like hobbit homes. Because that's how often they come into that weather where you might just want to duck in there for a hole or two. But it's going to be a wet week.
It's going to be really just seeing who adapts better with what's thrown at him each day.
Tiger said the other day, real quick, sorry about the weather, and then we can move on. This kind of blew me away, but Tiger said that he never wore weather gear. He hated umbrellas. He hated weather gear. Because when he was growing up, his dad would say, once you're wet, you're wet. And then you just move on and you deal with it. And I thought that was kind of a fascinating thing. Because you'll see what these guys do this week, who just caves and goes full wet, who's trying to, wear a spacesuit out there. We're going to see a lot of flipped around ball caps. So watch out for the Paul McGinleys and stuff like that to be talking about that. No, that's not a style thing. They're trying to keep the water from going down their bum cracks.
Certainly going to be some more. Already one super interesting outfit out of Jason Day as well. So that'll be going to be interesting. So Nish also mentioned two big holes. Number 5 is the par 5 that can be drivable. Yeah. And so one of my friends here is actually over there at Portrush currently. Owen Hoyne, his family owns a local Irish pub, so with it being in Ireland, they all went over there for the week. So we got a clip from him. He was on number 5 today, watching some players hit into it. So we'll go to that clip here.
Now, talking of who's going to win, Chris, who's my...
This is Owen Hoyne reporting to you live from Portrush, Northern Ireland on day 2 of my trip here. For the basic bogeys, I'll take you through a few of my favorite holes. First is number 5 here. Xander teeing off today, Wednesday practice round. Par 4, 372 yards straight into the sea. The green backs up right to the sea. This is the landing area there. Most of the guys teeing off today were aiming for that left bunker. A few of the bigger hitters like Aldrich Potgieter and Rory were nearly going for the green, but they all came up short, more so on the left side of the green. Looking back there towards the tee and kind of make out the grandstands. This is the green there, so you can see where that off the back of the green, there's a couple small white posts. That is an out of bounds marker, no more than a foot behind the green. Then this is number 6 tee, also completely exposed to the ocean there. So with likely rain and maybe some wind over the week, it should be a couple tough holes, tough to judge the yardage, especially. Go back here to the 6th green. That is from Tuesday, so weather definitely different there. A couple other holes of note on the back 9 would be number 15, 429 yard par 4. Probably the smallest green on the course. It'll be tough to get there and land it on the green in 2. Saw a lot of guys ended up in the bunker on the left-hand side there. And also hole 17 is 409 yard par 4. Has a very steep downhill just before the green. So saw a lot of guys getting it down there. Even the likes of Darren Clark, who wouldn't be able to hit the ball as long as Rory and such. So even for the non-big hitters, that could be a scoring hole for them to get down on the green in 1 and make it 2. Hope you enjoyed. One more day tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. Likely to be a little rain, a little bit of wind over the weekend. Pick guys I like were Rory, who looked happy and relaxed today. Justin Rose hitting the ball well as well. Same with Ludwig. If I had to go with a pick and be one of my favorites, so completely biased here, be going with Rory McIlroy. We'll see.
So that's Owen. They're over there. They're at their round tomorrow as
Shout
well.
out.
That's awesome.
And enjoying a little golf as well there in the homeland for the Hoynes.
Homeland for the home. I gotta give a quick shout out to my soon-to-be father-in-law Ken. He's watching down in South Carolina, so hello Ken, see ya. He's also making fun of me because he thinks my mic's not staying up and it's too big for the screen. Well, welcome to Showbiz, Ken. Okay, it's supposed to be like that.
Take your sorries. What's he said?
Which hole is the small green?
15 is the small green.
That is one of the smallest greens I think I've ever seen. That's so cool. Go ahead, Bud. Sorry about that.
No, I was just fascinated that homeboy dropped Aldrich Potgieter in there because I don't think. I think with recent success, he's on everybody's radar. But the guy's a freaking bomber, and that's why again with a course like this, I think if the weather picks up and these guys can just chunk it up there by the green, they will. Have you seen pictures of some of these grandstands though, in the relief areas, the free drop zones that are floating around?
Yeah, I saw one that was just, I don't know if I call it a drop zone. It was just kind of surrounded by thickest fescue I've seen.
So I love this, and because over here in the States on the PGA Tour, we get it at least once or twice a year. Some player gets relief from the grandstands, temporary obstruction, yada, yada, yada. And everybody cries about how you shouldn't be benefiting if you're a wayward shot. Whatever. Yeah. Get over it. It's like bitching about tax loopholes for the rich. They're there. They get used. Get over it. This is kind of the alternative to that. It's like, listen, yeah, you do get free relief if you accidentally hit it into the grandstands. But it's not exactly going to be fun. It's about, if you missed it, if you haven't seen this, these drop zones are, because in the PGA Tour, they find location, and most of these courses are so beautifully manicured that even though the ball is being dropped in the rough, they get a decent lie. They're going to get up and down. This honestly looks like somebody just took a weed whacker and just did a quick circle about 3 feet in diameter, but the grass is still about 6, 7, 8 inches long, and it's surrounded by that 2-foot fescue that they talk about. So the course is short. The weather's gonna be gross. I love the big bombers just because chicks dig the long ball, and I think that the sneaky good story of the tournament involves one of those guys who can just hit it a mile. But that's why I keep going back to guys like Brian Harmon. Colin Morikawa has got a claret jug. And don't sleep on Jordan Spieth. Jordan Spieth's, I think his 2016 Open run might have been one of the greatest in modern history.
That was
the
great.
way he was able to hack it around in battle, and he's been floating around there since that win at Harbor Town a couple of years ago when everybody's like, hey, Jordan Spieth's back, and then he hasn't done much since. And so I think look out for Jordan this week as well.
Yeah. Cool.
Not official picks. Not official picks.
Not picks yet. We're going to hit a quick ad break here, and then we're going to get on with the next segment here. And we're coming up on the picks, though. Coming up on the picks.
You know how a great golf swing starts from the ground up?
So does great style.
And Acorn Hills is proof of that.
Whether you're teeing off on the course or just teeing up on your weekend plans, Acorn Hills delivers an eco-friendly apparel that feels good and looks even better. And actually, it gives back to the earth.
Their entire line is made from sustainable materials. And here's the coolest part. Every single product comes with a seed tag.
That's right. When you're done unboxing that fresh new polo, hoodie, or hat,
you can literally plant the seed and grow wildflowers.
Fashion that blooms, we're into it. So if you're looking to upgrade your on-course look,
or just want to rep something that reflects your love for the outdoors, check out Acorn Hills.
Use our code BASIC15 at checkout for 15% off your order.
That's BASIC15 for 15% off.
Acorn Hills.
Look good.
Feel good.
Do good.
Yeah, make sure you don't use Bud's code.
TBF Flash 15 for 15% off.
So, do you guys want to get into the picks, or do you want to know a little bit more about the details of the course, how the rough's playing, how the fairway's playing and stuff, before we make our picks? You guys set on your picks, or you want to...
I'm set on my picks. I'm not wavering. I don't care about Bud's shiny head or his new house or any of the fucking animosity that comes with it. I'm sticking to my picks.
Who would that be, Gary?
It's not JJ Spawn. I was just messing around.
God, thank you, Lord. You had me hook, line, and sinker. Now let's get into some of these picks, and we'll peel off the stories, because there's so much going on. There's the cheese right in front of you to take, but then of course you know what happens to the mouse that reaches for the cheese.
Yeah.
Gets snapped. But sometimes.
What do you want to go with? Do you want to go winner, or do you want to go the prop ones?
Let's go winner for right now, and then we'll get to the prop in a little bit.
Okay.
You want to go first there, Gary? You seem ready.
I am picking and rolling with Mr. Tommy Fleetwood at plus 2,500 to win it. Obviously, you know, a lot of these the European players, this is their bread and butter, right? This is what they know how to play. Tommy's always played well at these ones, so that's who I'm sticking with. I think that he is just going to have, especially with the wet weather, I've always just liked watching him play and noticed that he does very, very, very well in those conditions. So Mr. Fleetwood, riding with him, plus 2,500 to win. That's my guy.
Yeah.
Would it be something if he broke through on the PGA Tour and his first major, but it was the major that's not actually on the PGA Tour? Just
right.
I think this would be the only major winner with an asterisk that everybody agreed on. It was like, hey, listen, it is what it is, brother. Once you win on American soil, then we can talk. Speaking of American soil, Kevin Kisner, he had a good showing last week on the PGA Tour. Side note for those fans, because he has one of the greatest all-time trolls at the Open Championship a handful of years ago, and there's a great shot that's always floating around. He's wearing a 1776 hat, and I thought that was dope. I did it earlier this year, and I really struggled with this one because I'm not going to try to outsmart what's in front of me, which is Rory McIlroy and Scotty Scheffler. And going down the rabbit hole, and it's kind of, you hear about Scotty's in a great headspace, then you hear Rory's laughing and he's in a great headspace. Scotty's mucking it up down the fairway, and he's given these Zen-like Yoda answers at the pressers that makes people think like, God, he's just freed up. But unfortunately, I don't think that he is going to be able to hang around if the weather keeps up. And I do think that Rory, the Rory saga, he really, really, pardon the phrase, blew his load at Augusta National. And we saw what happened, for months after that. Just get away from me. Don't want to talk to you. He's home. He's settled. Right. I think that he is focused, and he is going in. The last time I was at Royal Portrush, he was trying to do the thing where everybody knew the backstory, so he was leaning into it. Yeah, this is my home. It's been a childhood dream. Now he's like, listen, I'm trying to just treat this like any other Open Championship. You and I might be able to go, yeah, right. These are finely tuned athletes. He has been working with somebody for I don't know how long now to say, yeah, whatever we need to do to just lock it in and go back to ball, shot, routine, etc. Forget that you're, all the trimmings and trappings are around you. I'm riding with Rory this week. Not a huge leverage play. I understand that, but that's who I think will win this tournament. If you want to try to win some coin though, don't sleep on Brian Harmon at, what is he, plus, wait for it, plus 13,000. Plus 13,000. So that's why somebody like that, you drop a buck, and I think that's what I did. 1 unit, $131 to return if that bulldog comes back. Really, what I'm hoping for is a solid showing, and I can cash out early on the weekend and then ride the Rory wave like we did at Augusta. There you go, Rory McIlroy coming to you live from the bunkhouse here in Kennebunk.
I like them both. Can't be upset. I'm wearing this Golf of America hat. One of our new partners, Trouble Off the Tee.
Golf of America or Gulf of America?
It's golf, GOLF, but it's America. Yeah, it's so. I got mine's on the way.
But
so good.
Unfortunately, I'm not picking an American. I'm picking somebody who's gonna putt the ball good this week. So we're going to another sponsor, the Putter Shop, Jordan. And I'm pumped.
Fucking shameless.
I'm pumped to see Bud's reaction to this. I've thought about this a lot, and I'm confident with it. To win, I'm going with Sepp Straka plus 5,000.
Wow.
I think he is on the verge. He's not been up there in majors before, but
doesn't matter.
Being a European, he's been there in the mix. He's won multiple times. I think he's a big sleeper pick that a lot of people are kind of just overlooking. And he's my pick to win, plus 5,000. So big pay, but not as much as Brian Harmon, but I think he's I did the ladder with him for the to win top 5, top 10, and he has great odds.
I effing love that. Sure. Go Dogs go. It's another Georgia Bulldog for you, but obviously, like you said, where is he's not my favorite story, but where's he from? He's from Austria. But he's a Georgia Bulldog. But yes, he not only won a couple times, he won recently. He won the Truist. He won a signature event after being floating around up top. I really love that. And the Truist, he had to outlast a couple of big names in Justin Thomas, who is always big in the Truist, even though that was Philadelphia Cricket Club, and Shane Lowry, who is going to be a big name this week. He won last time, was at Portrush. He's going to be a fan favorite, and he's probably going to be a betting favorite here. I haven't looked at the odds there, but Sepp Straka is not only a good pick, but that's a great leverage play too, because I would not be shocked if he was able to break through and win his first major.
I like Lowry. I just think there's kind of a lot of pressure on him to do it. And I think he's up there, but I don't think
it's so
I can tell you what it is right now. He is
not good odds on Lowry. I know that.
Plus 4,000.
Yeah, I just don't think he's
I don't see it happening
able to do it. So next up,
I almost remember Victor.
We got Nish breaking down some of the course details and what to expect. Not just link styles, but some things that are particular about this specific course at Royal Portrush.
Royal Portrush is ranked. We're trying to play the top 100 courses in the UK and Ireland in 10 years, and it's ranked 6th on our list. It's only bettered by very famous courses like Muirfield, Royal County Down, St Andrews. Some real big hitters there, and so the quality of the course is very self-evident. It has a couple of other unique features. Traditionally in a links course, the greens are always on sort of flat bits of land because all the undulations are kind of towards the fringes. Portrush, because it's in duneland, there is a lot of undulation to work with. So Harry Colt's actually used a lot of the undulations to help feed into the centre of the green. So you're going to find a lot more breakier putts at Portrush than you would do in a normal links course. Another thing worth noting about greens just generally on links courses is that they don't tend to break as much, and that's because they have to keep the grass a little bit longer in order to combat the conditions, so the rain and the wind. In terms of bunkers, they're not crazy numbers of bunkers, and they haven't got very big pot bunkers either. They're more placed to be strategic and almost force your hand in where you're going to play on the course. And I think it's all going to be wind dependent how they guys decide to play. So there's going to be a lot of strategic play going on. I think it's going to be a real thinking golfer who's going to prevail in the end. In the past, it has been a critique of Portrush that the rough has been overly penal, particularly for a links course. Now, I've seen some videos again of the rough, and it does look pretty thick. We're not talking Oakmont standards of rough here at all. However, it's thicker than it usually would be. I will temper that by saying that we've had the driest spring on record. We've had hardly any rain, golf course has been crying out for a bit of water. As a result, I think the rough is going to be a little bit thinner than usual. We will see how that rough fares up. I think it's not going to be as penal as some might think. The issue with the rough is less the length of it. It's going to be the fact that it's actually on quite variable land. A lot of it is going to be either ball below feet, ball above feet, but I think you're going to get some variation left and right as well in that, which I think is going to lead to a lot of awkward stances and a lot of awkward lies. The fairways, they're going to be firm and fast as it's been so dry. So I think bump and run will be a very, very strong part of anybody's game. I think particularly given that you're fighting against the wind, so keeping it low is going to be quite important. Wind is always going to be a factor in Ireland. It's right on the coast of the Irish Sea, looking out toward Scotland and England. It's as far north of Northern Ireland as you can get, so the wind is definitely going to be a factor.
I freaking... What's his name? Nish?
Nish. From Top 110 podcast.
Top 110.
He is phenomenal.
Shout out Nish.
He is a fucking G.
I don't even care if it's part of their 100 or not. I just want to start sending him courses, having him do research, and then talk me through the course. You know how like some of these country clubs and websites, you can go hole by hole, voice like previews.
Yeah.
I want him just to find a course. First hole here, solid little par 4, downwind for the back tees. But today we're going to, absolutely shout out Nish. You're a gem. I can't believe you did that for us or for these guys. Us, the Royal we. Yeah. What's next?
So he's yeah, like obviously I wanted to try to get him on, but being in UK, it's what 12:30 a.m. there right now, and he's got kids, so it didn't work out. We'll do the announcement now officially. He's going to join us for the Ryder Cup preview and give us the European background.
We're gonna
which is going to be very exciting.
So we all need to wear like American apparel.
So I just reached out to Nish yesterday, and because I had the idea, I was like, well, if we're gonna do this live, we need something to break it up because it's a lot. And I asked him like, hey, can you give me like a minute, 2-minute type thing? Nish went and recorded a 20-minute bit to send to me with the most informative stuff. I couldn't cut it. I had to cut it down to all these clips, but I couldn't cut content.
Amazing.
It was so good.
Amazing.
So good.
Love you, Nish. You're the best.
Big shout out to him, and then a shout out to Owen as well for obviously getting these videos and sending them over from Ireland while he's there.
That's so cool.
Yeah, do you guys want to get into the prop bets here?
Let's do it. Bud's ready. Hey,
yeah, Bud, you start us off.
So I'm gonna lead with what I was going. I got 2. Shocker, can't follow directions, whatever.
I have 2 too. You're fine.
There is the absolute best story of the week, and it's coming to you from Estonia. Have you heard of this kid?
I saw
Richard
clips
Teeter. Richard Teeter with a ball speed of 190 out there keeping it up with. He's an amateur from Estonia. Homeboy learned how to play golf and English, I think, by watching YouTube. And
classic.
He is the first golfer, professional or amateur, from Estonia to play in any of golf's majors. And so shout out Richard Teeter. And so just for funsies, I threw $1 on Richard to win because he's plus 250,000. So that would be a decent little payout if he hits. But in reality, I did see what he was to make the cut because I thought that'd be a fun one. But he's plus 185 to make the cut. So I guess they know the kid's got game. Nah, for reals though, my prop bet for the tournament involves the first round. I'm kind of falling in love with these round by round leaders or round by round, this. And and so I was just kind of looking at it, and one that caught my eye was first round birdies or better. Who's going to lead first round birdies or better? And in my gut was my decision. But before I went with it, I had to go find, like, is this totally stupid? Like, am I going to look like an asshat when I say this name? And no, I'm not, even if you disagree with me, because this guy is averaging 4.2 birdies per round on the PGA Tour. He's 14th overall. Sam Burns, come on down. First round leader for most birdies or better at plus 9,000. So there you go. Some easy coinage right there. Some side hustle. Sammy Burns is going to go out. And here's the thing. It didn't say score. It just said birdies or better. So if these guys are getting beat up, They know how to punch. They know how to punch back. They're going to make a lot of birdies to try to keep up with the conditions and stuff. In my mind, I don't think it's going to be so horrendous that it's just hold on for your life, because these courses aren't like that. There will be those lulls where guys can go on 4, 5, 6 holes in a row knocking out birdies. Sammy boy, bring home the cheddar.
There was a DraftKings had a like you get bonus bets back for whoever you bet to win has the most birdies on the weekend. So I did, not my actual pick, but I did throw the $5 on Rory for that because it was $5 minimum. But he could easily make the most birdies on Saturday and Sunday and not win, but be battling and get those. It's like one bonus bet per birdie that he makes on the weekend, which is a pretty cool.
That's crazy
deal. It's not my prop bet though.
What a country.
My prop bet is Mr. Ben Griffin, top 20 for plus 220.
Ooh.
I think he could sneak into the top 10 pretty easily. He was hot, right? And he's kind of cool off a little bit, and I think he's ready to get back out there and make his name known again here in a major. So I like those odds, top 20 to plus 220.
Yeah, because at the U.S. Open, he wasn't he flirting? Was it early or late that his name was up there, and then he just faded away into obscurity?
Yeah, I think it was before like the final batch of weather there on Sunday.
T10. So yeah. Because at one point I remember thinking to myself, is Benny Shades going to really pull this off? Benny Blades, Benny Shades. Yeah, I like that. Top 20. That's a solid prop for. I think that when you have a shot of adrenaline, like now he's got this kind of quixotic tilting at windmills, I can beat the world thing, and as long as he doesn't pause to go, I was doing loan officer shit like 2 years ago, and now I'm here. Then he's going to be okay. Also, good follow on TikTok. He gives some great like behind the scenes. Look at my locker. Yada yada yada.
I gotta defend him as a fellow shades wearer. So I don't know if you know the reason why he wears them.
He's floaters.
Such bad floaters, and it makes it easier for him to track the ball.
Do you know what the floaters are, by the way?
I don't know.
Lack of fiber?
No, it is actually your white blood cells.
That's
what you're seeing.
Is that true?
They're just
like floating in front of your face.
This is live. So I hope it's accurate.
I don't know. Somebody
I'm pretty sure.
check us.
I'm like 99.8% sure that that's fine.
We got Google
it's like
out here.
White, yeah.
Hold on a second. Man. Hey Siri, what are floaters in sight?
It just shows
are
Steph
small,
Curry's
dark shapes that float across one's visions. They can look like spots, threads, generally harmless. However, in some, I don't see anything about white blood cells. I'll believe.
I know,
you,
I completely made it up. I was just joking.
All right. Give us your prop bet, and then we're hitting another break here.
I don't want to see how long I get somebody to do
it. Fuck off. Did you know that Marilyn Manson cut out a rib?
Yeah, to do what? Anyway, so here's my make the cut. I got two of them. I'm gonna go to make the cut. Mr. U.S. Open himself, JJ Spawn, and Justin Rose. So they're both by themselves minus 170, but together they're plus 152. So it's just a nice, easy, like, I think that's a solid, like, throw like a $5-10 piece on it. But plus 152 for both of them to make the cut. I don't know. I just was looking through and I was like, who do I think is really going to be able to play on the weekend? And I was like, JJ's been playing well, obviously. But I think Justin
Rose was up there last year. You know,
exactly.
He's going to grind.
Could you imagine if JJ Spawn did the unthinkable and won this fucking thing? Or all he really needs is, I think, a high finish I mean, he would have to win another major because it's Scotty or Rory for Player of the Year. But talk about a guy who's had a year. He had the showdown with Rory at the Players. He won the U.S. Open. He's been all over the place. So nicely done with that JJ Spawn poll.
I have a question just for both of you because I'm very interested. Where do you think Keegan Bradley ends up this weekend?
I think he makes the cut, but I think it's like a top 40. I don't think he's really in the mix.
For whatever reason, he's the one that's really sticking out to me. To make the cut, he's minus 185. So I don't know. Let me look at this right here because I wanted to see top 30. I know that it was like a decent thing, and I was like, he finished top 30.
Top 30 plus 160.
160 on DraftKings.
I'm on DraftKings. Keegan Bradley, top 30, including ties, plus 160. He's plus 1,200 for a top 5.
Right? That's what I'm saying. I was looking through it, and I'm like, Why is Keegan there? That's not.
You know what I love? Because also he has the quote floating out there right now. If you're not in the top 6, you can't expect to be on the team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the exact reason why I was like, he's lighting a fire under some people's asses. So I'm
including
like,
his own. Maybe he's saying like, I'm going to lead by example, make the top 6, and then and then that way nobody can say shit. Yeah, Captain Keegan. Because say what you want, it would be the coolest thing in the world. And there's that thing out there where the PGA of America is like, we want you to be the first playing captain since Arnold Palmer, and he's like, that's obviously not like the goal is not to get myself on the team. Globally, internally, of course, it is to earn your way on there.
Right.
I think he also said that because if he's to kind of like draw the line in the sand informally, folks, if I'm in the top 6, I'm going to be on the team. If I'm not, I'm probably not going to pick myself because, that kind of thing. But yeah, I like that Keeks.
Yeah. Well, you and I had the very same thought process. I was looking at it like
2 dicks, 1 brain.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, 1, but it's not mine. It's just interesting because it's like when I was watching him talk about that, I could tell that like he was trying to fire up other guys, but at the same time, like you said, I think he was just trying to fire up himself and be like, you want me to take over this, you want me to be the next Arnold Palmer in that sense to play. But he's like, I got to earn it. And I love that. That's why I'm so happy they picked him to be the captain of the Ryder team. So I'm really hoping that's like, I don't know. I hope he does well.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Right. Yeah.
We're going to hit this last break here, and then we'll be back. We got one more clip from Nish following this.
We all know the saying, drive for show, putt for dough.
So if your flat stick's feeling more like a cold stick, it might be time for an upgrade.
And we've got just the place for that.
Check out the Putter Shop, where our buddy Jordan is doing it right. He's got a killer selection of new and used putters.
And if you've got a dream putter in mind, he can even help you out with special orders from some top-tier brands.
Jordan has you covered. Literally. There are putter covers for all shapes and sizes, from blades to mallets, to even those spaceship-looking things that we won't judge you for playing.
Plus, he's stocked with slick ball markers so you can mark your spot in style.
Use our code BASICBOGIES15 for 15% off your order.
And roll the rock with confidence. The Putter Shop,
where your next favorite putter
is waiting for you.
That's so weird, Bud. I didn't see a code for you on that one. That's so weird. I don't... Why did it do that?
I'm just a guest here.
All right. So the last little clip we've got, Nish and his co-host Chris made some of their picks. So we're going to roll that.
Nice.
And then break down what we think of those. And they've got a very big, they wrap it up with an incredible sleeper pick that I didn't even know this name. And I had to go and place a bet on. So here we go. This is the bets from Nish and Chris from Top 100 in 10.
Now, talking of who's going to win, Chris, who's my playing partner and the guy who's doing the challenge with me, he's more of a betting man. He's given me some idea on who the smart money might be on. The first one he's named for me is Sepp Straker. Now, Sepp has had an amazing year on the DP World Tour. He's probably most likely to be in the Ryder Cup team as well. I think he's got pretty good odds at the moment. Had a great performance just last week in the Scottish Open, so should be taking some confidence. But he hasn't done well in the majors so far. Relatively local guy to us is Tommy Fleetwood. Now, Tommy had a heartbreaking moment just a few weeks ago, and I think there's a lot of people in golf who are wishing that he would win a tournament. He's clearly a links specialist. Well, that he's from is in England is known as the Gulf Coast, as a littering of links golf courses in the area that are world class. We're talking Royal Birkdale, we're talking Southport and Ainsdale. Tommy could be in a position where this course actually really, really suits him. And his putting is looking much better this year, and hopefully with slightly more forgiving greens being a links-style place, might just tip the balance in his favour, so he could be a good candidate for a win. A world player to look out for would be Adam Scott. Now, he's a perennial performer in the majors, Mr. Solid, very dependable, beautiful swing. He's got the temperament, because you're going to need to be patient at Portrush. There might be some fairy tale story unfolding that's going to take the outright win. But I think Scotty could be good for a good run for an each way bet, and finishing in maybe the top 5, top 7, depends on your bookie and where they pay that. From an American perspective, I think outright winner Xander Schauffele, because he's been coming back to a little bit of form. I think he's got a game that should be suitable to links courses. And then this is somebody that Chris has mentioned, and also Harbs from Harb 7 Golf has mentioned in our only open preview. And it's a player who's kind of hitting his stride at the right time. It feels like he's got the, I suppose you'd call it, he's got the bottle and he's got the cojones to tough it out, I think, and keep patient and hard when needed. And that's Wyndham Clark. So that's our little betting guide for where you might want to put your money. We had a real outside bet on a chap called Matthew Jordan. Some people may know, a couple of years ago at Hoylake, he finished in the top 10. So he was the local pro, clearly grown up on links courses, links specialist, qualified for the Open. I think he's got a really, really good chance of finishing in that maybe top 10 again. So that's our kind of little guide to Portrush. What we do know is it's going to be a wonderful tournament. It's going to be very exciting. I hope you all enjoy it. And if anybody is sort of over our neck of the woods, that you all love the British hospitality. I mean, in Northern Ireland, you're going to get a great welcome, a great pint of Guinness at all times, and you're always going to have a good laugh. So enjoy the tournament, guys.
Good laugh, great pint of Guinness, shit weather. I love it.
He's so fucking
the
fun.
Best.
He really had me. He's unlocking a new vocal stem for me. Beautiful swing. I can't. It's so good.
So this perennial performer of the ages.
Matthew Jordan, I went and placed the ladder on.
Yeah.
So top 40, he's plus 185. Top 30, plus 310. Top 20, plus 600. And then I pushed it to the top 10, plus 1600. He can sneak. If he can make the cut and stay in there and then backdoor it.
Be a good little payday.
Yeah. Sneaky pick that I didn't expect.
Xander Schauffele, though, no, he's not going back to back. Everything else, I gotta agree with. The only thing I'd say is X is not going to give it to you. If you saw that dorky little man standing in the bar with his pint of Guinness and his Callaway hat on, I love Xander Schauffele. I love to ask him, "Where's your gold medal?" He's like, "I have no idea." I just don't. I just think it's so incredibly hard to go back to back at majors. Period. Full stop. I mean, Scotty's an anomaly. Padraig Harrington, I think Patty Harrington was the last guy to go back to back at the Open Championships. Look out for if he's playing this week. Look out for the old man to sneak in there. I don't know if he is though because he's aged out of his exemptions for the past champions. Or no, he might still be in there.
I think he was.
Somebody tell me, is Patty Harrington in the field? Because that would be another interesting one to see. What's Padraig Harrington if he is playing?
I think I did see him.
Harrington.
My phone died right at the sorry.
Plus 30,000 to win, plus 1,600 top 10, plus 4,000 top 5, plus 1,600 top 10.
So he's just as likely to make the top 10 as this Matthew Jordan. Crazy.
Yep.
I mean, and by the way,
it's just the history.
But they both fall into that category of like, is the millisecond you just let it sink in. Like, who the fuck is Matthew Jordan? And then you say, you're like that local pro. You're like, oh yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And
again, if it's something too where it's someone that gets out there early on a Sunday and then it gets pounded with rain and wind, and they post something in the 60s, can easily sneak up there very quickly.
100%. I like it. Is that insider trading? Because it's insider info. Is that what that is?
Because
yes,
he's not in Ireland. I think we're fine.
I'll say this: the Open Championship, if it wasn't 180,000 years old, it is so unique in nature that these are not big cities. They're not made. We talk about U.S. Opens, and they always say, "Well, can the infrastructure handle the crowds?" I'm always amazed that these bumfuck out of nowhere coastal towns seem to be able to host a world-class golf event, a sporting event like this. And for the Brits, sorry, I know there's some English people. I'm not a British, whatever, fuckers. For those folks over across the pond, our cousins, this is like Super Bowl followed by the NBA Finals, because they had Wimbledon that just wrapped up. That's their little 2-week party, and now we've got the encore, which is the Open Championship. And so it always boggles my mind that something that is so simple and so just kind of unassuming consumes us like this. And it genuinely is the creme, the oldest, the baddest, whatever you want to call on the majors. Still not number one in my opinion. That's a whole different story. I know there's a lot of people who think that much legacy and lore leads to kind of greatness right now. No, it's just gonna hold its place for a few more years. But I'm pumped for this week, and I go back to the shitty little, these tiny little towns that somehow, I don't know why we can't get golf majors at more venues throughout the United States if Joe Shit the Ragman and the boys can knock a couple of trash barrels over and make some room for the crowds. And here goes the Open Championship. So I'll be one of those sickos up at 1, 2, 3 in the morning tomorrow, plug with a headphone in, kind of one eye on the screen until I have to go to work.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm on baby duty still. This is my last weekend or last couple days. So yeah, I'll be up.
What do you mean? After that, is the kid not yours anymore?
Yeah, exactly. I knew you were gonna say some shit like that. No, my leave is up after this week. I go back to work on Monday, so this is the last couple days.
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
At least you have decent content to follow. Starting at 1 a.m. every morning for the next few nights.
Yeah, right.
That is true.
That's very true.
All right, boys, that's another one in the books, all underway. What is it? Not even.
Yeah, they teeing off in, I don't know, 4 hours, 5 hours.
1:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
4.5 hours,
baby duty
5
calls.
hours from now. So
That's the
another
other
one in the books. Thanks again, Bud, as always, and we'll
Thank you,
see
sir.
you back here soon for another preview, I'm sure.
This fucking music is dope.
I would listen to this on the course. This
Absolutely.
is so nice. This is
I want this
so
on a
nice.
loop when I'm practicing putting.